This is where the season gets good, right?
Of course it is.
You got some injury stories, some massive ones. The matchups are getting interesting. We're looking at wild cards. We're looking at divisions.
Good.
Nate Burleson of NFL Network and CBS Sports is joining us. Nate, how you doing, man? How are things?
I'm good. So I'm gonna put the pressure on you guys because you guys are my brothers and I love you to death, for real. Like in my life, it's like Tim and Sid and the kids, but right now it's like Tim and Sid and Nate. So let's just talk telepathically. Here's the thing.
Okay. What is about to happen here?
I'm feeling good and I'm properly hydrated. I'm gonna put the pressure on you guys to really ask me some questions that are the real deal. So let's get to this, man. Come on, let's go.
Can we start where we were going to finish then, 6-0?
Yeah,
you want a real? So Nate wants a real deal question.
Real talk.
All right. Go ahead, Timmy. Let's fire at him. What we were talking about earlier.
I wanted to get your opinion on something that we were talking about outside of football. So as we go real deal, Nate, we're going outside of football. We were talking about Kawhi Leonard, and I brought up football in the conversation. And I think you have a great perspective on this because Kawhi Leonard is guaranteed $103 million on his current contract and wants to sit out the back half of back-to-backs. Given our conversation about the injuries you suffered as a player and how you found out about a bunch of those injuries after you were done playing football, I'm really curious what you think about, or what maybe Melvin Gordon would think about, or any other football player would think about, $103 million guaranteed and going through a second season of what we're calling load management.
I wish I can curse right now, and this isn't me being a product of my environment or me being a company guy or me turning my back on my fraternity brothers, because when you play in the league, you ride for the individuals that play the game. So I guess the standard answer would be, yeah, take your time, make the money. But I'm cut from a different cloth, and I come from the old school, and I feel like if you're getting paid a handful of dollars, I don't care if you handed me $100 to play 100 games, I'm going to give you $1 worth for every game, and I'm going to go out there and do my thing. I saw that Jordan came out and said, you get paid to play 82 games. Mm-hmm. And that's right. That's the game that I watch. That's the game that I respect. I'm a huge Kawhi Leonard fan, man. I was the one that was standing on the rooftop saying he got to be out of his mind to leave Toronto because you got the Kawhi and Dine, you got the private jets, you got the top floor suite. He would be the only dude in sports outside of Tom Brady that literally is the king of his city. But he made his own decision to leave Toronto and go to L.A. But that's besides the point. When it comes to playing, though.
Yeah, he's real. We can all agree he is maybe top 3, maybe top 1. He's a great player.
I'll say he's the best player in the game.
All right.
But what I will say is, though, when you're making money, forget about the max contract or the $100 million or whatever these NBA dudes is making. And mind you, you're talking to an NBA guy. But people don't know, I watch more NBA than I watch NFL, which is crazy. I talk NFL every day. But you get paid to play the game, man. Come on. Don't give me that load management. Don't give me that, I'm going to take a rest. The whole point of seeing what you made of is seeing what you made of when your body's hurting. The reason why week 15, 16, first week of playoffs, going into the Super Bowl, the reason why it's interesting because we all know everybody's hurting. So what does that mean? That means that, the playing field is even when it comes to the physicality. Now, what has to separate, the regular, athletic peasants to the athletic royalty, and that's the ones that can separate their mind from their body and go all the way in. So, I don't know. That frustrates me, man, and it upsets me, and it's because we play 16 games and we don't have time to take a break. When I took a break, that means something was broken. Do you hear me? I know the people that the faithful Tim and Sid listeners, and I don't know if we got a nickname for them. By the way,
Tim and Citizens. Tim and Citizens.
Tim and Citizens. All right, I want something different. I don't like that.
All right, fine. We'll work on it.
But I was listening to the Tim and Citizens after my last hit, and they were appreciative of the fact that I was being honest. So here's to the Tim citizens. When I took a check, I gave you everything I got, man. Like, I was going to tear a ligament, break a bone. Like, I would rather you carry me off the field, look me in my eyes, and tell me that I can't go no more than to look you in your eye and tell you that I'm not going to give you your money's worth on a given day because of load management. So this isn't my rant on the NBA. Like, I'm an NBA dude.
Yeah.
Like, I rocks. My brother coaches for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Burleson. Look him up. He looks like my fake twin. All I'm saying is, when it comes to getting paid for a job, do your damn job, man. Like, and if you're tired, we pay to see you being tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why Tom Brady is the GOAT. It's week 11, 12, 13, and Tom Brady at 42 years old is out there throwing darts. This is a grown man that's supposed to be retired with his feet up, sipping tea with his little kids. Like, so I don't know, the NBA bugs me out. And I respect Popovich, and he kind of started this whole load management with the Spurs, and then, you know, Curry did it with the Warriors, and now everybody's doing it because they're like, let's save our guys for the latter end of the season. All I'm saying is,
and to give
let me say,
right.
I know you want to talk, and I know I'm rambling.
No.
I apologize. The reason why LeBron is the GOAT, and we're all from the same era, like me and my three amigos. The reason why he's the GOAT is because he never complained. Dude would play as many games as he could. Shooting percentage is high. His assists are high. Rebounds are high. He's a leader. He's a monster, and he gets busy. There's not a lot of dudes that kind of sign on to that narrative. So, like, all I'm asking, long story short, bro, sign on to the narrative to earn the money that you get paid. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, no other job could take a break. Like, if you're working for corporate downtown and you're trying to kill the stock market, or you're a teacher, or you're a politician, like, you can't say, hey, you know what, today, excuse me, boss, I think I'm gonna take some load management time today. You know,
Right.
It doesn't work in any other field of life. You know what I'm saying?
I just wanted to give the context that you were vexed when you found out what was wrong with your body at the end of the career. And I find that context of you knowing that you had broken bones that you didn't know you broke while playing and still had this opinion alters, if you didn't see what we were talking about last week.
First off, go back and watch it.
It was really good.
Because Nate was incredible.
But I think that it adds a layer of context to what you're saying. Like, you're all for the athlete being, represented in the right way and knowing everything that goes on with their body. Yet at the same time, they're saying what you're saying.
Bro, I'm gonna just tell you this, man. Like, we sign up for a job that not many people can actually apply for, let alone fulfill with their athletic ability. When I signed that contract to get paid $700,000, Seattle contract $4 million, my Detroit contract $25 million. Like,
shut up.
I signed on. Detroit. My bad. I signed on to give you everything that I got. Like, I was gonna sacrifice myself so you could be happy. Because here's the thing, like, I know this sounds crazy, and I'm not fronting on any NFL player. Like, we're in a fraternity. Like, I ride with those guys more than I ride for any hot take that I give on TV. But me, I signed on so the fan would know, like, damn, we're paying this dude millions. But what I do know about Nate is he's willing to give himself up for those millions. Like, how do you rationalize? I don't care what it is, bro. Like, if I was the best player in the world and you give me $40 million, there's no way for you to rationalize that I'm worth that. Even if I was the greatest. Tom Brady's not even worth $40 million. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, none of these dudes, they're not worth it. So the fact that they can give you that feeling that they're worth it, that's what makes it all good. So when Russell Wilson goes out there and he's limping around throwing dimes and he's the league leader in the MVP race, it makes it worth it. You know what I'm saying? When Aaron Rodgers signs that contract and he's throwing darts, like threading a needle, that makes it worth it. Like, the whole point of me signing the contract, and I wasn't even on their level, is so when a fan looks at me, they're like, yo, at the very least, I know Nate is about to give it everything he got. And I did that. So, like, what would you think if you paid? Let me. I know we don't have a lot of time. So, one time we were going to a concert. It's myself, Calvin Johnson, Dominic Riola, who was our center, and a bunch of skilled players that play for the Detroit Lions. We were going to a Drake concert in Detroit. We're sitting there at an Italian restaurant, and I apologize if you heard this before. And a guy walked up to our table, and he said, "Hey, man, I love you guys. This year seems different. You guys have given me pride and hope like I've never felt before. I don't have a lot of money, but the money I do have, I spend it on the nosebleed so I can watch you play. And the reason I'm coming up to you guys is because you guys play like you actually love us." And I stopped him and I was like, "Yo, we love you, bro. Like, this is it. Like, we're different. This isn't the old Detroit teams. Like, we're different." So we hugged and kissed and high-fived. He walked off. Our waitress came over and I said, "Hey, yo, the chef that came over, yo, he's a nice guy." She's like, "The chef?" I'm like, "Yeah, the black dude, the bald head. He just came over. The guy that came and talked to." She's like, "That's not the chef." I'm like, "No, the dude that just came over, he came and talked." She's like, "That's not the chef. He's the dude that sweeps up the kitchen. He's a custodian." So now, like, there's this moment, I'm talking about heavy spirits. Boom. Like, you could literally hit our hearts, hit the table. And it was crazy because only thing we all were thinking the same thing. He said, "No matter how much money I make, I'm going to buy tickets and I'm going to support you." So I took off my hat and I put it in the middle of the table. I put some money in. I said, "Look, I'm not trying to have no Oprah moment or me trying to, like, I'm about to put some money in this hat and I'm going to send it downstairs. Y'all can do whatever you want." We all put money in the hat. That's besides the point. The fact is, that was the realest moment I ever had in Detroit. Because for me, in that moment, I realized a dude that's literally sweeping crumbs off the ground and is making crumbs financially is sitting in the nosebleeds every Sunday watching us. Like, who am I to, like, fake an injury or prolong an injury or exaggerate an injury? So, like, when I hear load management or, like, it bugs me out because I know dollars seem insignificant when you hit the upper echelon, but I remember that following week and I was talking to my team before the game and Dominic Riola, our center, looked at me and was like, "Yo, Nate, I need that, like, Super Bowl speech." I'm like, "Dom, it's the middle of the season, bro." Like, he's like, "No, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna speak from my heart." Like, and I usually take whatever happened in my life and I would apply it to the game. I looked at my teammates and I said, "Yo, for the next 60 minutes, we can change the next 7 days for everybody in Detroit. The city is bankrupt. Like, you can fill in the words." I was like, "We're bankrupt, bro." So, like, if you feel like you want to quit, if you feel like you're hurting, if you feel like you're injured, like, just think about the person that don't have enough money to put food on the table, but they're in the stands. Like, that's as real as it gets. So, I don't know. I just feel like, let's keep it real, bro. Like, baseball, football, basketball, we're all overpaid. We are all overpaid. Forget the jersey sales, shoe sales, all that. Like, we're all overpaid. And we're blessed. And the organizations get money in return. They sell our likeness, our jerseys, our shoes, all that, the images, all that. We're all overpaid, though. Like, we're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to play a game. At the very least, show up and give the people what they want. So if you're telling me load management is a thing, I'm going to tell you, excuse my language, kiss my...
I was going to have some points. And none of them seem relevant after that story, Nate. Honestly, like, that's real. Like, that's a dude.
Was that a real enough question for you?
Like, I mean,
that was real talk, bro.
No, but, like, that's, like, honestly, I was going to come on.
Rename the show Real Talk.
No,
Tim, Sid,
seriously.
Nate.
But I was going to say, look, I think the NFL world that you lived in and still kind of live in, and the world that Kawhi lives in, it's not the same world in a way. But every game Nate went out there and played with that fan in the stands who probably couldn't afford to be there in the first place. And the NFL is life and death every week. A win in the National Football League means way more than a win in any other professional league in North America. And Kawhi's legacy, considering he thought his career was done. I do understand to a certain extent where he's coming from, because legacies in the NBA are built differently. He made his legacy last year, and it wasn't. It had nothing to do with playing in the regular season, because the Raptors went 17-5 without him.
I just feel like it's easier to lose touch with reality, and what Nate got was the dose of reality from a dude at a restaurant.
Absolutely.
Hey, but here's the thing though. This not even a shot at Kawhi. This ain't even on him. Like, if I'm a team that just signed Kawhi to $100+ million, I'm gonna hit him with the load management. I'm like, yo, Kawhi, bro, like, chill out, relax, coast through the first 30 games. I want you to be good for the latter part of the season and the postseason. So this isn't Kawhi. It's just more like, bro, like, I feel bad. I feel bad for the fan that shows up, not the fan that scalped tickets on the outside, or the fans that got tickets in a company raffle. I feel bad for the fan that bought season tickets in hopes that, like, they were going to see greatness every time they set their butt down in them seats. So, like, this isn't a shot at anybody. It's just like, let's just keep it real, man. Like, we get paid a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get paid a lot of money. Like, at the very least, exhaust yourself trying to entertain the masses, even if it makes you feel like I hate to say it, but a circus animal. Like, we get paid. Like, if the I don't know, bro. I don't know. I just want people to get their money's worth,
right?
Because I know how much they pay to see greatness on a daily basis.
Yeah, I said that the fan is underrepresented sometimes in these conversations.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Nate, this was, again, man. I really enjoyed this.
No, don't tell me it's over, bro. You got to ask me a football question about the season. You got to.
We got Seahawks, Niners, Vikings, Cowboys. There's some good games.
I mean, okay, why? How about this? Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott basically have the same stats in their career. Why do you trust one way more than the other?
I trust Dak Prescott because he hasn't got paid. Kirk has he hit the Washington Redskins for $50 million, and then he signed with the Minnesota Vikings for 3 years, $90 million guaranteed. Like, he's established. So what are we expecting? If you're making $30+ million in the NFL, what are we talking about? We just talked about this. Bro, you're making $30+ million as a quarterback. Like, we should be able to criticize you. And I love Kirk Cousins. I will see him in his face, hug him, give him a kiss, tell him, bro, you're the man. But, like, I'm also going to challenge you and expect greatness. You know what I'm saying? So when you miss, he can throw for 400 yards, 4 TDs, and miss 5 passes. You know what I'm going to criticize him on? Those 5 passes. Because the league leader in the MVP race is Russell Wilson. When it's 5 passes that will determine the game, Russell Wilson's going to hit those 5 passes. So I feel like right now, even though Dak is younger in his career, he has proven more clutch moments than Kirk. So let's see. This is the deciding moment. There's one question that will, like, label this game. Is he worth the money? Rumor is Dak is asking for 35+. Is he worth the money? We know what Kirk is making. Is he worth the money? So let's see who's worth the money.
Dirk's not making it anymore because he retired, but he got a chip.
He
got a chip. Nate Burleson, Good Morning Football, Extra, CBS Sports, NBA analyst, ESPN, the Ocho's coverage of lawnmower racing.
This is true. I'm coming out there to Toronto soon. Like, I would say in the next month I'll be in Toronto.
I think he's got to do the whole show with us. I think he's got to do hockey.
Nate, we have gotten to the point
we'll turn
where
him into Chance the Rapper.
These 20 minutes isn't enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
So honestly,
how long is the show? An hour?
We go 2 hours. I don't know where on TV they put us anymore, if I'm being honest
bro.
about it.
I do 3 hours every morning, man. Like,
so you know what? I'm not giving the viewer what they want, is what you're telling me, Nate. That's the message at the end of it.
You are paid.
Hey, listen, my word to you guys, because you guys are my brother, and hold me to this.
Okay.
My word to you guys is I'm gonna do the whole 2 hours with you. As long as you give me carte blanche on the greatest sports plays in Canadian history, and that covers all sports, everything. I get to do the top 10 countdown. We all collectively, you do the Twitter poll, and you guys let me do the top 10 plays.
Nice.
All right, we don't have to produce that show.
Score 64 all over again. DUN done.
Just drop
Love
the
you guys. Hey, Tim, let me say this. And I'm gonna leave you guys alone. Tim and Sid is the best show on earth. Real talk. That's real talk.
That's another one.
You guys are the greatest, bro. I love y'all.